Nicholas, we need to talk. Just how long are you planning to keep living at home?
Huh? This is sudden.
I asked you a question, Nicholas. I want an answer. When are you moving out?
Mom, are you kicking me out of the house?
Did you think I would let you continue to leech off me like a parasite for as long as you pleased? Answer my question for the third time. When are you moving out?
Mom, I'm a sophomore in high school. How am I supposed to move out of the house? I can't live on my own.
You'll have to work for a living just like everyone else.
Work? Again, I'm still in high school. I could only work a few hours each day.
Then you'll just have to drop out of school.
Drop out?
Actually, that's a wonderful idea. You're old enough to be emancipated. I'll have to go look up how that process works.
Oh, hold on. Slow down for a second. Can I ask what brought this on? You've always told me that if I don't at least graduate from high school, that our relatives will all be furious at me and I'd probably end up in jail. Now you're telling me to drop out? I'm confused.
Oh, that's not a concern anymore. It was your sister who wanted you to graduate from high school, not me.
Wait, it was her? This is making less and less sense.
But it seems that she's had a change of heart. She now thinks that having you around is only getting in our way and wants you to leave. So leave!
Okay, I don't believe you for 1 second. There's no way she would say something like that about me.
Believe it or not, she said it. And as for me, I never wanted you in the first place. I only decided to carry you to term out of compulsion.
Mom.
And surely you've realized it by now. Your sister's always been sickly ever since she was a child. The hospital stays, doctor's appointments, medicine, dietary supplements, it all adds up. We can't afford any unnecessary expenses, and by unnecessary expenses, I mean you. You don't have the needs your sister does. All you need to do is eat and drink, and you'll be as healthy as a horse.
Hold on. Is this about her childhood asthma? But she got over that when she was in middle school, didn't she? I mean, she's living like a normal human being. She's even got a job.
You heard her coughing this morning.
Yeah, she coughed. Everybody coughs. I cough, you cough. Everybody coughs. I'd say it would be more concerning if she never coughs. It would probably mean she had a lung problem. And I mean, I had a pretty rough cold last month, didn't I? I broke out with a high fever, too. I had to stay home from school for a few days. Don't you get colds, Mom?
If you're expecting me to throw a pity party for you, it's not going to work.
I wasn't asking for sympathy. I was just making a rhetorical point.
You are perfectly healthy. You'll get over whatever colds or coughs you get. Don't be such a pathetic, sniveling, whiny little child, Nicholas. You're embarrassing me.
I'm not whining. That's it. I'm done. I'm really sick of talking to you, Mom.
What did you say to me?
You want me to move out of the house before I graduate high school, is that right? Fine, have it your way.
Nick, are you there? Mom's in the kitchen cleaning up from dinner, so we gotta talk fast. I don't want her knowing I'm talking to you. She says you're moving out of the house?
Oh, so Mom broke the news to you, I see.
Then she was telling the truth.
Yup, she was.
But if you're gonna move out of the house, that means you're gonna have to make ends meet all by yourself. How are you gonna get by? What are you gonna do for money? Do you have anywhere to live? And what about school? Oh, before I forget, don't believe a word Mom says. I never said that I wanted you to leave.
Don't worry, Rebecca. I know you'd never say that about me. I figured she was just projecting. The walls in our house aren't that thick. I can hear all her late-night rants about me that she puts you through. She hates me so much that she assumes you must hate me just as much as she does.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I know I'm right. I mean, did I tell you what she said to me the other day? I think you remember back when Mom was trying to make me drop out of high school right when I turned 16, you told her that if she made me quit school, all of her relatives were going to be furious at her, and there's even a chance that the police might get involved. But somehow Mom managed to turn that into you being concerned that they would all be mad at me, and I would be the one who'd end up in jail.
Ugh, I had forgotten about that. I was just so glad she didn't go through with it. Once it was all said and done, I thought whatever delusions she had shouldn't be much of an issue. But we need to get back on topic. Do you have any idea how difficult it's going to be for you to leave home at your age?
To be honest, I think I'm actually gonna be just fine.
Fine? How are you gonna be fine?
When Mom sent that insane text the other day, I was actually over at Grandpa's house to talk with him. Dad's side, not Mom's side. Eesh.
You were?
I've never told this to Mom, but I've been going to see him from time to time ever since Dad died. Grandma passed away last year, so with Grandpa living all alone, I thought he might cheer up if he had someone to talk to. Plus, it's only about 30 minutes away by bike, so I don't need to worry about anyone driving me. So yeah, I was there at his house, having a great old time hearing him tell funny stories about when Dad was a kid, when Mom texted me and, well, told me to leave the house.
Wow, I had no idea.
And when I talked to Grandpa about what she said, he told me that I didn't need to live with that awful woman, his words, for 1 second more. And that I was welcome to move into his house if I wanted to. So I decided to hold my head high and told her that if that's what she wants, then sure, I'll leave.
Wow, so Grandpa said he'll support you?
I talked to one of my teachers who knows about my situation, and he said he'd set me up with a good part-time job when the time comes, so yeah, I think I should be just fine until I graduate from high school.
Okay, well, that's a relief. It sounds like you've got everything figured out. I think it might be time for me to make my move, too.
You too?
I've been wanting to talk to Grandpa for some time myself. Do you think I could come along with you the next time you go to see him? Do you have plans to go over there again soon, or...?
Yeah, I was gonna go down there this Saturday.
Great, that works for me. I'll tag along then. Hey, Nick, thanks for letting me go with you to see Grandpa today.
Don't mention it, I was glad to have you. And I know Grandpa was happy to see you too. But I gotta say, you really blew me away when you told us what you were planning to do.
Sorry for dropping that bomb on you so suddenly. But my mind's made up, so...
Hey, I've got no objections here. If anything, I'm actually kinda relieved.
Then I guess it's settled. We'll have 1 month to get everything ready. And remember, no matter what, we cannot let Mom know anything at all about this.
Trust me, you don't need to tell me twice.
Well, Nicholas, it's now been 1 month since you said you were moving out of the house. Let me make myself crystal clear. I'm not going to let you back out of this just because you are a minor, or because you're in high school. I fully intend to hold you to your word. You told me in no unclear terms that you were moving out, and I expect you to do so with all due haste.
What do you want from me? I told you it would take about a month to get ready.
What? I don't remember you saying any such thing.
That doesn't surprise me. You never did listen to much of what I had to say. but I'd like to think you would remember a detail as important as that one.
Fine, then you have 1 week and not a second more.
Not to worry, Mom. I managed to get ready for the move quite a bit quicker than I expected. I've already left. I got out of the house first thing this morning.
What?
I've been moving my things out a little bit at a time over the last 3 weeks. Don't tell me you didn't notice.
You did? When? I had no idea you were doing that. How did you move your things without me noticing?
Did you expect me to rent a moving truck? I don't have the money to do that. And even if I did, I don't have a driver's license. I had no choice but to move little by little over a long period of time. But be that as it may, you really didn't notice? What'd you think I was doing with the massive cardboard boxes I strapped onto the back of my bike when I left for school? I might as well have put up a flashing neon sign saying, "Hey Mom, look at me, I'm moving out."
I've had just about enough of your snide remarks, young man.
Oh, well, too bad. I still have a few more. Like, for example, didn't you think it was odd that all my bookshelves were empty, my dresser was empty, I even took the posters down off the walls? How did you not notice any of that? Like, really? Just what kind of an oblivious doofus are you? Okay, moving on. If you're this surprised that I moved out, I'd just love to see the look on your face when you realize that it's not just me. Rebecca's moving out too.
No, not Rebecca too.
Yep, just what I thought you'd say. She was actually even more subtle about moving all her things than me. But if you go ahead and open the door to her room right now, you'll see that, yep, it is completely empty, just like mine.
Oh, this can't be happening.
Oh, and one more thing. Rebecca left an envelope for you on the floor of her room. Make sure you don't miss it.
Nicholas, give me your sister's new phone number this instant.
Huh?
The letter she left for me said that she had changed her phone number and she didn't want me to contact her ever again. You said you knew that Rebecca was moving just a bit ago. That means you must know what she's doing and where she's at right now. Now tell me her phone number.
She said she would let me know once she got a new phone, but I haven't heard anything from her yet.
Fine. Then tell me what her new number is the very moment she contacts you.
Oh, come on, Mom. You're gonna make me sad. Don't you care about where I moved to?
Don't be ridiculous. I am obviously more concerned about your sister than you. You can take care of yourself.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that. But unfortunately for you, once Rebecca messages me with her new phone number, I'm gonna go and get a new number myself immediately.
You wouldn't.
I kinda have to. The one I'm using now is on Rebecca's plan. She's canceling her old contract and signing a new one with a different provider. I only added my phone to her plan so we could get the family discount. It's not worth it to have a plan all to myself, so I'm gonna get a new phone and sign on to her new plan.
But if you do that, how will you give me Rebecca's new number?
Gee, Mom, I'm really sorry to say this, but since we're gonna change our numbers at the same time, I don't think there will be any way to get her new number to you. Sad, very sad.
You can't do this to me. Rebecca needs me. What if her asthma flares up again and I'm not around? Who's going to call a doctor for her?
I told you before, Mom, her doctor gave her a clean bill of health back when she was in middle school. She's perfectly healthy. She doesn't even need an inhaler anymore.
After everything I've done for her, all the nights I stayed up by her bedside in the hospital, all the times I took her to the ER in the middle of the night, this is how she repays me?
Get over yourself, Mom. Seriously? First of all, back when Rebecca was staying in the hospital, Grandma was the one who stayed in her room with her, not you.
That's not...
Sure, you were there in the very beginning when she was first hospitalized, but that didn't last long. You got a little bit too friendly with the mom of one of the other patients, and the two of you spent all your visiting time chatting it up and cackling like a bunch of middle-aged women who drank too much wine during happy hour. You were being so annoying that the staff had to ask you to quiet down multiple times every day, but that didn't work, and it got so bad that you were banned from the hospital. Ever since then, Grandma had to go to the hospital instead of you, and I was the one who had to stop by her hospital room on my way home from school to take home her dirty laundry and drop off clean clothes.
But...
Thinking back, I don't even remember you saying thank you to either me or Grandma for all the stuff we had to do because of you. It's still bizarre to me, though, how even when we and the doctors told you that Rebecca was getting better and better, you just completely ignored us. She was released from the hospital with a clean bill of health, and you still acted like she was on her deathbed. Remember when she was in high school and wanted to join the softball team? My God, I thought you were going to have a heart attack. You were screaming and crying and pleading from outside her door all night. To Rebecca's credit, she stayed the course and joined the team despite your hysterics. But you couldn't let her even have that one small victory, could you? No, you went to her school the very next day, chained yourself to the door of the softball equipment room, and said you wouldn't move until Rebecca quit the team. Apparently, you didn't know that there was another door to the room, so your threat was meaningless. But Rebecca was so humiliated by your stunt that she quit the team anyway out of sheer embarrassment.
What do you expect me to do? Allow my sickly daughter to play a deadly sport? What if she got hit by a ball in the chest? She could have died. I couldn't let her take that kind of risk.
For the love of God, Mom, Rebecca is not sickly. She's perfectly healthy. She spent all of her break times running laps and lifting weights in the school gym because you refused to let her do any exercise at home. Thanks to that, she could probably even outrun me right now.
She was exercising?
There's a word for what you have, Mom. It's called Munchausen by proxy. You just wanted to portray this image of yourself as selflessly devoting your life to protecting your sickly daughter, all to gain sympathy and attention for yourself. But whether you realized it or not, all you were doing was deep mental and emotional damage to your own daughter.
You're lying. That's not true. I gave up everything to take care of that girl.
This conversation is going nowhere. Get help, Mom.
Get help? What do you mean by that?
Here's the only other information I'll tell ya. Rebecca moved out and got a new job.
No!
I'm still going to the same high school, but I made sure all the teachers and staff know about our family's circumstances. If you go anywhere near the school, the police will be on you before you can put your hand on the doorknob. You'll only be causing pain and humiliation for yourself, so don't even bother.
They can't stop me from seeing my own children.
You think so? Give it a shot then. It's your funeral. Anyway, I'm out.
Wait just a moment, young man. We are not done talking yet.
I just got my new phone from Rebecca, so once I finish transferring all my data over, I'm turning this one off and never turning it back on again. I might just smash it with a hammer for good measure. But before I do that, I'm blocking your number just because.
Nicholas, don't you dare!
Bye, Mom. As you know, but my mom doesn't, I moved out of my old house and am now living with my grandpa. As for my sister, she got married to the boyfriend Mom didn't know she had and moved in with him. He's a real stand-up guy, too. He knows about our family's situation, and he said that if it didn't work out for me to live with my grandpa, that I was always welcome to come and live with the two of them. I'm really glad Rebecca found a guy like him. Grandpa was glad to hear about her getting married, too. He said he was worried about her being lonely, but knowing what kind of guy her husband is puts his heart at ease. And finally, my mom. Having been left completely alone in her house, she was desperate for someone to keep her company. So she thought to move back in with her own parents. However, unbeknownst to her, both her mom and dad had already died years ago. None of her family told her because, well, they hate her and have for a long time. She also has no contact with any of her old friends for the same reason. So, left with not a soul in the world who would give her the time of day, what was Mom's next move? Going on dating apps, of course. But with that personality of hers, she's never been able to make it past an hour into a first date until her partner suddenly remembers an errand they had to run. She's actually become somewhat of a legend online, with entire social media pages dedicated to men telling the hilarious stories of their unfortunate encounters with her.